Nerdrotic.com.
Somebody here has seen Loki. We can't get into details, but Chris, is Disney Marvel saved?
I will say this, having seen the first 4 episodes of Loki, the answer to that is no. It's as convoluted as season 1 with all sorts of made up situations where everyone is, I would say something like in a tizzy and upset over something that has to be accomplished, which is ultimately meaningless. Kihei Kwan is a new character in there who has a previous relationship with Morbius, and it's just dumb. They don't really outline what the stakes are. There's a situation where, God, I don't even know the name of the character. All I know is that you call this character Body Positivity Officer.
Yeah.
So she's back for season 2, but I forget her character's name. Anyways, something's happening where basically these threads are disappearing, which is whole multiverses. And they're looking at a screen where these threads are going away, like vines disappearing. And they're just saying billions of people are gone, but it has no weight. They don't show the cost. And it's ultimately meaningless. They have to find a Kang variant from the 1800s that's at this old-timey carnival. You saw it basically connects directly to the Ant-Man 3 post-credit scene.
Yeah.
It seems like they used footage from that. They just clipped it and added it at the end of Ant-Man 3. So you get to see what happens with that Kang variant. And it ends in such a stupid way. They need Kang's essence to be able to fix something.
His essence.
Essence of Kang, but
where do they get this essence?
From exactly, yeah.
Essence of Kang. Ooh.
Essence of Kang. In the current timeline, there are no Kangs, so they've got to go to a different timeline. They're 1800s. They pluck him from that, and he's basically a shyster. He's a con man who pretends he knows science but doesn't. He's not a very good Kang. And Jonathan Majors, who I believe has been a good actor in things in the past, is awful as this Kang. It's in episode 3 and 4. So they're going to different versions of the TVA, and in one of the versions they have all these like statues of Kang. So what happened? And they need his essence. They have to pluck him from another universe. And then of course he dies in a way that's like a lot. I'm sorry if these are spoilers. I don't know that anybody cares.
I don't.
Okay, good. But yeah, it's similar to like Reed Richards in Multiverse of Madness. He just sort of spaghettis himself. It's weird.
He spaghettis himself?
Well, not intentionally.
Okay.
He gets spaghettied. Let's say that.
So the big villain Kang dies again.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, how are they building to Kang being the big bad when this variant of him is just this con man, shyster, who's ripping people off, but he claims to have invented this new form of energy, and these guys bid for it to get the rights to it, and he just sells it to the highest bidder, but it's all fake. So he's not a genius. This Kang is not a genius. He's an idiot. So, but it's so weird, and his performance is so bad.
I heard it was bad.
It was just like, how is this guy have the weight? At least with James Brolin, they did such a good job of the buildup. They teased it. You didn't really see him. And Infinity War is so good. I mean, it is Thanos' movie, really.
Well, Infinity War, yes, that's his film. And
Yeah.
it was a great buildup. And that time is long since past. Kang's not a great villain in the comics, dude. That's why they've had to retcon him so many times. And all these Kang personas weren't originally Kang personas. They made them Kang personas later, right?
Right.
Time traveling multiple versions of villains. There's like no real stakes in that. It works when you are on, issue 300 of the Avengers or something,
Right.
and told over 50 years. That's fine. It works in that kind of serialized storytelling. Think of it, like people always talk about the One Piece anime being 1,000. Yeah, well, it's the same thing with comic books. There's filler. There's bad issues. There's good issues. Rocket Racer and Amazing Spider-Man, Stiltman. There's some crazy shit in comic books. But for the movies, you still have so much to work with, the best. And you chose Kang? What about Mephisto? Everybody was talking about Mephisto. That's actually a very good villain. A bigger bad than Thanos. It's essentially the devil. I mean, like, why wouldn't you use Mephisto and lead him up to other bigger bad villains like Galactus? Kang is something you put on Disney Plus.
Right.
That's not that's not your big bad that you lead into. And this is the problem with them. Like they got so arrogant. They thought they could just spam Marvel at people. They thought it was about the Marvel brand. They thought it was about the letters Marvel, and they didn't realize that Marvel is actually Spider-Man, X-Men, Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, Fantastic Four, Daredevil, and that's about it.
That's it.
So you watched 4 episodes, right?
Yeah.
And you do know there's only 2 left after this.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There's
only 6
it's
episodes?
a 6-episode series.
I don't know where they're leading, why I care. There are lines in this that are just so bad in terms of the dialogue. You're like, Loki wouldn't have spoken that way. And they try to build it up like it's supposed to be this buddy movie between like Morbius and him. And they have this whole conversation that is completely out of character for the two of them. I think it was in episode 2 where Loki's concerned he may have hurt Morbius's feelings. And I'm thinking like, it's not Loki. They have this whole conversation about, well, you were leading or I'm following you. You're following me. Well, I didn't want to like, and I'm sitting here and I'm going like, that's the screenwriter recounting a conversation they had in real life who decided that it was so clever they should put it in a Loki series.
Yeah,
because it was out of character for both of them. And I'm thinking like, I can't, it's not how 2 men talk to each other.
Well, there's the problem. We don't have men writing for Disney right now. So I'm not surprised at all. But like, what about Sylvie?
Oh yeah, Sylvie's in it. She works at a McDonald's.
We saw that. Does she do anything? She was pretty important last series.
Yeah, she leaves the McDonald's to go on this journey. I don't know.
She goes on a journey to find herself, right? Isn't there an older version of her in this?
God, I don't even remember.
Supposedly there's an older version of her that's filled with regret over what she decided to do at the end of the first one. That could be wrong though.
But there's like an uprising at the TVA. The TVA is splintered. And then there's a way that most of the people from the TVA are killed.
Okay. And then supposedly the person behind that uprising is older Sylvie, supposedly played by Lysa Arryn, the woman who played Lysa Arryn in Game of Thrones.
Yes, that's it. That's her.
Yes.
That's what happens.
Yeah. So she becomes the most prominent thing in it.
I think, look, Tom Hiddleston is the sell for this show because he's just stuck with horrible scripts and horrible. At least they don't emasculate him as much as they did the first season. He's not as horribly emasculated.
Okay.
Which is
that's good.
It is what it is. And I like Ki-Hye Kwan. Unfortunately, I find him hard to understand in this. He's like speaking so fast, right? I think that's part of the character. But I don't know. Like ultimately, I'm like, why do I care? I feel like these multiverse things are such a great opportunity for ideas they haven't done. Do you remember the rumors before Multiverse of Madness when it was going to come out? And they're like, Tom Cruise is definitely Tom Cruise, and this is what they're going to do. They're going to be all these cameos. Then there was nothing, and everything multiverse they've done, they haven't used the idea well.
No, there is a way to use to use it to work to fix what has gone wrong,
right?
And ultimately, it's just a big lazy buildup to reboot. I mean, I think it's pretty clear they're going to reboot everything. They're going to have to. So Loki isn't going to put Marvel on track, like we all expected.
No.
And then it's Echo, Ironheart, Agatha, Black Captain America, Falcon. Then there's nothing. So everybody's talking about Deadpool 3. Well, they didn't finish shooting it. The actors are not. By the way, the Film Actors Guild is not back. The strike is still on. So all of these reports of everything's getting ramped up, unless it got an exemption, which most likely it has to be an independent feature to do that for the most part.
Yeah.
Nothing's getting ramped up. The writers are probably getting back to work on their scripts and stuff, but the actors, there's no deal. So the strike is not over. It's not over. And probably won't be for, a minimum a couple days. And then they have to take a couple of weeks to ramp everything up and move all the schedules. So Deadpool 3 will be moved to 2024, without a doubt.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.
Hey, if you like what we do here at Nerdrotic Daily, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you could do that with your favorite YouTuber as well, I'm sure they would appreciate it as much as I do.